Hi everybody, Adam here. Welcome back to our Lego room. In today's video, we're taking a look at the latest track module that we have assembled for use in our new under table layout that we're building here. Really excited about this module. It's the TrixBrix T-Junction featuring R104 and R120 curved track pieces. A really massive track module, and actually the second copy of this particular module that we have picked up. If you have been watching our videos for a while, you may recall seeing the T-Junction module that we put together last summer with the T-Junction R104, R120 module from TrixBrix. This is all mounted with mills up on top of our tables here in the main layout. And I loved this so much, and it worked so well taking it out to a show in the fall that I was like, I got to get another one of these. These are amazing. And I'm super happy that we're able to now have one of these up here in the main tabletop layout. And then we've got the new one down below on the lower layout. Now, one of the first things to note with this awesome T-Junction module, this is the way that I've kind of set it up here to get both the module parts and all the ballast plate that I purchased for it set up. But it's actually going to rotate 90 degrees here so that these two tracks here are pointed down that long run of the under table layout. So we'll be putting in a lower level surface over there for this part of the module to go over onto. And then the other end over there will be connecting into our T-Junction light module over here, the one that we've got where you've got access off of the inner main line to go to the track up this way. Super cool module, not quite as functional as what this track offers us, but really cool. And I think having the two of these side by side is really going to enable some awesome functionality and routes for the trains to traverse on the under table layout here, in addition to anchoring sort of this end of the under table layout. It will also allow us to gain access to the Winter Village track loop that's going to be over on that side of the lower layout there. So really excited about this. I think it'll be interesting to, once we've got this mounted on mills, to connect it up here and see how this starts to work and how the trains move through here. Theoretically, the way that it's set up right now, we may not get a lot of use out of the outer mainline track there. Depends where that ends up hooking up. Currently, it's looking like it'll be the inner mainline track that connects into the loop over there. So we'll see. That outer track could, for the most part, in the short term, just be kind of a siding area where we can queue up trains and store display trains. But what this will do as well is just give us another awesome module that we can take out to shows as well to put it through its complete paces. And it gives us flexibility if we end up changing the layout down here in the Lego room, or if we get to the point where we have another layout that we are working with sort of off-site from here. But really happy about what this opens up for us here. Now, in terms of putting this onto Mills modules, So you can see here laying base plates out over the entire track module. We are looking at 20 mils modules that will be required for getting this completely mounted onto mills and ready for use in the lower layout here. Big fan of mills. I think having these modules on mills not only makes it easier for us to move them around here in the Lego room, but really makes it a lot easier for taking these to shows and integrating them with modules that other members of my lug have put together. So big fan of that. And it also makes it a lot easier for us to work all the wiring for lights, etc., that we have been adding to the layout. It does end up being a whole ton of mills modules. And when you factor that in with all of the other mills modules that we're putting together for the under table layout, we are going to be going through a ton of base plates and, mills sort of structural parts over the coming weeks here as we get all of these modules together and ready to use on this under table layout. But the end result will be worth it all in the end. I think it'll be super cool. And like I said, I think this is going to give us a lot of functionality here in the lower layout, especially coupled up with the T-junction light that we have here. Now let's do a couple of run-throughs with a train car just to show you guys how all of the switches work, and we can take a closer look at the track and the ballast plate so you can kind of get a feel for how that looks and compares to the other track modules we have here in the layout, and how it compares against the standard Lego coloring for track. So for testing purposes, I've grabbed one of my Santa Fe train cars just so that we can kind of put the different switches through their paces and see how trains will navigate the various parts of this track module. One of the interesting things I think about this track module in particular, being the second one of this particular type of track module that I've picked up, it's kind of an interesting comparison point to see, consistency-wise, how does it perform and sort of behave compared to the other one. And for the most part, I've been pretty happy so far. Really happy with the overall look of the modules. Love the coloring and how sort of accurate to the Lego gray TrixBrix is able to get there. Really fits in pretty seamlessly with other, with Lego track and track from other companies that make Lego compatible track. So I don't have any issues when I go to shows and display modules that include TrixBrix track. It all just fits in nicely with whatever the other members of my lug happen to be using. So I really appreciate that. I will say that in getting the ballast plates into or sort of connected into the track parts that make up this particular T-junction module here, was a little bit more difficult than the experience I had on the first one. There was a couple more parts that I had to just give a little bit of sanding to remove sort of an extra little lip that was making it difficult to get some of the parts together. But nothing that was like, super, super awful, super difficult. It's just worth noting that I did have to, do a little bit of sanding to get everything to fit nicely together. And that was only a subset. For the most part, all the ballast plates across the entire module went in really smoothly. It is a bit of an exercise figuring out where all the parts go in the module. Uh, Definitely, takes a little bit of time. Definitely doable. I went off of the images that TrixBrix has on their website and also referred to my already existing T-Junction module to help, with anything else that wasn't clear. But, overall, not too bad to put together and happy with the way it all looks. Now, taking a look at the switches and the behavior of the module. So you can see over here, we've got one of our switches. So we can push that in or out depending on which way we want the train car to go. So if we bring this back here and off onto, I just added a little bit of straight track back here, just so that we could navigate the switch properly. So you can see switch in that placement. We're going back and forth across the outside or along the outside of the mainline track there. And if we go and push that in, so now the switch is set such that it'll take this inwards, and we will head down towards the far switch over there. Really smooth though, moving through all of that. Always something that impresses me with the TrixBrix modules, just how smooth and nicely the trains traverse through the switches and, just across these track modules in general. Now, if we go back over to this one up here, the interior main line. And then we look, okay, so we're set. We should just go through that and straight ahead. Down there, really nice and smooth. No real bumps or hitches as it moves through. If we go and push that there, now we will head down into the offshoot, heading towards that switch down there. So, really smooth. Like I said, one of the things I really appreciate about the TrixBrix modules, just how well they perform. Always really nice. I won't show any of the other switches just because, you can see that behavior on our older T-Junction video that we went through with the first one. But also, my hope is that in the coming weeks here, we can get this mounted on mills and hooked up to the at least parts of our under table layout here so that we can actually start to put some trains through their paces on these modules, in a functional running way rather than just sort of hand powered as we push them through, which I think will be a lot of fun to get to that point. We've been making really good progress on getting all of the surfaces together under here for the under table layout. We'll do an update on our progress with all of that really soon. So keep an eye out on the channel for that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, highly recommend you do that so that you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. If you haven't checked out TrixBrix's website, highly recommend doing that as well. So many great track modules that they offer for sale there, in addition to, tiles and various things for, ballasting and decorating your track, and even some things that you can add around your city. So lots of awesome stuff there. I'm a big fan of their track work. I've got their modules through most of our layout, both the upper table layout and, the beginnings of the lower table layout here. We've got lots of TrixBrix track and modules making up all of that. And yeah, I guess that about wraps it up for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you again soon. Take care. Bye.